Hello, this is Carmen Alana Tibbetts, and this is week 2 of the human doll exercise. And I have here the magazine clippings of the inspiration images for the 4 dolls that I'm making. And last week I showed you how I chose fabrics and decided which of the design elements that I liked from each one of these clippings. And I showed you the sketches and the fabric choices for those. So what I'm going to do this week is show you the dolls. The bodies are finished and the clothes are finished. But as you can see, I don't yet have a head or any hands. But I do have all of the clothes done, and in some cases they are attached to the dolls, like this one here. So this was the inspiration image, and it was this pretty, very simple but elegant, and it had a lot of embellishment. This was a wool dress for a child, a flower girl actually. And so I really liked the dimensionality of the wool flowers, and I thought that I would try to get something like that. I didn't have any wool that matched, but I did have some suede that was a pretty good match to this silk. So in this case, I gave the doll the idea of having a full dress by making the arms and the body with the same fabric as the skirt. And the skirt is lined, as I always do. And then I did what are called cartridge pleats or carriage pleats. So it's fabric that's gathered at specific intervals, and then you draw it up, and then the top of each pleat is stitched along this side and also along the back side. So what that does is it gives you a skirt that kind of stands out from the body, so it gives it a lot of life. It has kind of like a little bit of a ballerina type effect. So I'm very happy with this. I was originally going to put a belt, but I've decided not to do that because I like the way that the pleats show up, and I think that's really pretty, and I don't want to cover it up. So I probably will do some sort of neckline, something, and something at the wrists where the hands are to give the idea of cuffs and a collar. So that was the one doll. So let's look at the second one, and this one I liked sort of this swing coat shawl type of thing, but then there was also this really gathered ruffly collar, and I like to use a circular ruffle, in which case I cut out big circles of fabric, and I guess I should have had a sample for you, and then you have a hole in the middle, and as always I line everything, and then you pull that circle straight, right, and it makes this big ruffle. So this is 2 different size circles on each side, a smaller one and a larger one, and then they are just whip stitched to the top of the swing coat, which is the silk that is lined with the lime green. And then to cover up that not so pretty whip stitching, I just put a line of beads over the top of that. So we have that kind of capey, swing coaty thing going on, and then this nice big ruffle. So again, to sort of match the outfit for the jacket, I made the sleeves a similar color as the coat, and then the body is this purple, and I think I'm just going to sort of leave it there. So again, no hands or head yet, that's coming up. So the next one was this one here, where I just liked the stripes, and then I loved these full cuffs. So I thought I'll just go for a simple jacket where really the only thing going on is the stripes and the cuffs. So often I do sleeveless jackets, and in this case I do have sleeves, but the sleeves are not attached to the jacket itself. I do a separate sleeve that's then gathered around the edge, and then that brings it into the arm, and then it looks like a complete garment when you have everything cut properly. So I didn't have the black and white kind of thing, but I had this beautiful vintage kimono. It's a silk crepe, and then I lined everything with this salmon colored silk, and I just love it. I think this is really, really neat. I love it a lot. So I did stitch the sides of the sleeves together, but I decided to leave this portion of the ruffle open because it gives it a little more fullness than if it was attached. So again, really happy with that. The body is this pink wool, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make the head or the hands to match that, but we'll see. Okay, so the last one I think is my favorite, and that's the one where the inspiration was this dark background and then the floral fabric, and I was lucky I had something to match. And so here is the jacket, and it's lined with this lemon yellow silk, and it's very dramatic, and I just absolutely love this. I love this so much. I think I want to try and make a coat or a jacket like this for myself. This is just such a fantastic combo with the rich colors of the flowers and then that bright lemon yellow. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then for the scarf, I had this raspberry silk velvet, and then I got another scrap of, I guess it's sort of a pink strawberry colored silk. And then I basically just did a gathering stitch along the sides to join the two together because the back of the velvet, it's pretty, it's a nice color, but it's just kind of blah. So I decided I wanted something a little more, and then all of these colors just kind of go together in a really dramatic way. And I love this combo. The colors are beautiful, the silk is beautiful, and the silk and that lining is just a stunner. So anyway, we're done with the clothes, and this is typical for me to finish all the clothes and the body and everything and have kind of the headless horseman effect. Now the reason for that is that it is easier to make a head to match a body than it is to make a body to match a head. So one of the things that's interesting, I don't know if you can really see this, I guess the video thing isn't going to be big enough, but I use the same pattern for everybody that I showed you here before. And so I have 4 dolls, but they're all slightly different body sizes. So that means that I really do have to make slightly different heads. So the reason for that is that this fabric, for example, when I stuffed it, it stretched very little, but this one, for some reason, stretched quite a bit. So this doll is about 1.5 inches longer, taller than this one. So that means that it would look weird if I had the same size head on these. So there's no way to account for that if you make the head first and then the body. So always make the bodies and then the heads, because it's easier to manipulate the head size to go bigger or smaller just a little bit if you need to. So the next video will be the heads. I'm going to show you how I size them and then how I needle sculpt the features, and these will be human heads, which is something you haven't seen from me. And I'll also talk a little bit about hair. So see you next time. Bye-bye.